Read.
Verse 2. I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people.
So now he's bringing them there to judge them because of what they did to us. They think they're there for oil. They think they're there because the dollar bubble is about to burst. A lot of them think they're there to fight for freedom and bring liberty to the Libyans and bring liberty to the Middle East. But the Most High got them there for judgment. Why? Because the only thing have us enslaved is fear. So another part of the Most High taking away our captivity is destroying the armies of the nations who have us in fear. If they have no army, we're free. So America, which is really Rome, the watchdog of the earth, have spread their military all over the earth. They're showing strength by having their military all over the earth. But to the wise warrior, that's a point of weakness. Because how can you fight the last battle with your military spread everywhere? So they're there in the body of Jehoshaphat for a judgment. They think they're there to bring forth the New World Order. But there will be a New World Order. But they're not bringing it. Because you cannot rule without an army. Let me show you. Read.
And for my heritage, Israel.
And for who?
And for my heritage, Israel.
And for who?
And for my heritage, Israel.
They're there to be judged to release us. The Most High going to deal with them for what they did to us. That's why their army's there. And so we're telling brothers and sisters all over this earth, do not join the military. You do not want to be a part of this war. Step away from the valley of Jehoshaphat. Go AWOL. Leave the military as soon as possible. Because you're going there to be judged. And see, the churches are not telling these people that. You got the churches praying, yeah, he's going to serve his country. And they got him on the news and saying, I thank God that I'm going to fight for liberty. You're going there to die. These armies are not going to make it out of the body of Jehoshaphat. Okay? Eventually, there will be a judgment. And again, brothers and sisters, I tell you, they've been sleeping on Iran. And I'm not going to say they've been sleeping on Iran. We have been sleeping on Iran. Because if they could have taken Iran already, they would have. They go into all these different places. Let me tell you, they will not take Iran. When they go into Iran, that will be the beginning of the end of their plan. Okay? And it tells you, when Iran start getting loose, listen, nothing will be safe. Nothing will be safe. And I'm talking about, that's including us. There's going to be a judgment on us when Iran get cut loose too. I'm talking about those that are not under the Most High. Read.
Whom they have scattered among the nations.
Who they have scattered amongst the nations. So all these countries that are down there are complicit. They are responsible for our captivity. They all had a hand in enslaving us. And all these nations became rich because we fell. We became their resources. We became the resource in which all societies thrive and become rich off of. It's us. Read.
And parted my land.
And they parted. No sooner as we left Israel, they started taking our land, expensive land too, and parting it amongst themselves. Okay, y'all take this piece. You can have this piece near the water. They started auctioning off our chosen land. Right? Read.
Verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people.
And they have cast lots for my people. That means they came together, these government officials and powers, and say, listen, we'll take Judah. You go take Benjamin over there to the West Indies. And we'll, the French say, you know what, we're going to take Levi. We're going to take the Haitians over there in the Isle of Haiti. They started agreeing who would take God's people and who would rule us in different areas. They was casting lots to see who would rule us. England said, well, we want to take those Negroes, the Jews. We want to take the Jews. The first slave ship was called the SS de Judah. So tell me they didn't know that Judah was on those slave ships. They started casting lots. We're going to take Benjamin. We're going to take Levi. The Spanish say, well, listen, we're going to go over there into South America, the conquistadors, and we're going to take the Puerto Ricans. We're going to take Ypres. Then the Asians and the Japanese say, listen, we're going to go over to South Pacific, and we're going to take the Hawaiians and the Fiji Islands. Now look at the judgment Japan went under. This judgment is to free us. Eventually. Read.
Verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people.
So they started casting lots for God's people. They started trading. Don't forget, the stock market was built off of us. There was no such thing as a stock market until they started liberating the slaves in America. So they switched the plantations into corporations. Now they can hide behind brands, but they're the same slave masters. They can take the money they've made from 200 years, 100 years of slave labor and parlay it into corporations and all these different trading businesses all over the world. Now they can take that money they made off buybacks and make products. So everything you see in the earth today started from slave labor. And not once did they go back to the people in which they got their first capital from and say, listen, this stock market would be nothing without you. Here's something for your family. We want to make sure y'all families are okay. Because the whole earth is running off of you. We're the battery that makes the earth run. That's us. All right? Farrakhan did get one thing right when he says the only thing that'll work is if we have an opportunity to govern ourselves without outside influence. Because how can we trust the people who've enslaved us to give us any legislation that would benefit us? Okay, read.
And have given a boy for a harlot.
Then they started taking little boys and turning little boys into little homosexuals to sell to their gay plantation owners. See, the Most High have this in record of why he's going to judge these people. There's a movie called, what is it called? Uncle Tom's Cabin?
Goodbye, Uncle Tom.
Goodbye, Uncle Tom. Someone gave me the DVD, Goodbye, Uncle Tom. You need to see this slave movie. How they have these little boys, 6 and 7 years old. And they're separated from their families and put into this cage. And this homosexual is turning all these little kids homosexuals so that the plantation owners who are so-called gay can pick out little African and Israelite boys to deal with. And they did this during the slave trade. The Most High never forgot this. Now some people say, well, why are we going into this? Why can't we just talk about the love of Jesus? It's in your Bible, folks. Christ is the volume of the book. You have to talk about everything in the book, not just Christ's walk. The judgment that Christ is bringing is based on what happened in the earth. So this is talking about Christ. He's going to judge based on what they did. Right? Read on.
And sold a girl for wine.
And they started selling women for wine. What women? Our women. For nothing. For wine. Read.
That they might drink. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
And he says, what, you people over there in Israel, what do you have to do with me? Tyre and Zidon is Israel. So he's telling those Jewish people over there, why are you in my people's homeland? Read.
And all the coast of Palestine, will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head.
Go ahead.
Because ye have taken my silver and my gold.
They did what?
Because ye have taken my silver and my gold.
These people went into Solomon's temple, into all our different places of worship, and took all that fine silver and gold that you read of, the finest gold of Ophir. They took all of our gold out of our land. And guess what? That's the gold that they have in Fort Knox. They had in Fort Knox. And the gold they've been trading on the open market within the earth. It's our gold. Fine bullion. Belongs to us. It was our gold. So when you take the people, you take booty. That means you take the riches that came with these people. We wasn't just God's people. We had all the riches of the earth. So they benefited big time from our fall. You think they want to see these same people rise? and understand who they are? Because with these people taking a name, they also claim the promises of Abraham and all the riches that were in our possession before slavery. Okay? Finish reading.
Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly, pleasant things.
Go ahead.
The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians.
So our people were eventually sold unto the Grecians. That's us being sold to Europeans. That's why the Most High have them in the valley of Jehoshaphat right now for the judgment, what they did to us through time. Now, some people might say, well, what's the big deal here? Why would the Most High judge these people? Because they know who we are.